Hello, it is me. I am here. Hopefully, everything is working. Oh my goodness. Let me just get settled in here very quickly, and we'll start unlocking our last spirit boy. Who all's here? We got Pie with first. Heck yeah. Fun Day. Hello, Fun Day. How's it going? Pie, I'm late, and I'm sorry. Sardonisms is here. Blur is here. Peter is here. Somno Games is here. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Uh, Let me scroll back up. Oh, scroll back up. In my head, yesterday was Monday. I feel that. I get mixed up on days where the week technically starts on Tuesday as well. I have been told by Joe, now I don't know if this is true, citation needed, but Joe did say that he thought that they launched a feature where if you watch either a clip or a portion of the VOD from the day that you missed, that it might restore your streak. I don't know if that's true, but there were clips taken from yesterday, and the VOD is there. So you could try watching it and see if it restores your streak. I don't know if it does, for sure. I'm getting this information from J Chili. So if it doesn't work, I don't know for sure. But he did say that he thought that they launched that feature. I remembered sometimes and for some things, but in terms of stream, what do you mean? You went live yesterday, that was Monday? Oh, Sardonisms, I'm sorry. It's Megan time, and also Peter will be here. Peter's here with a 25 stream streak, 25 glorious days of Peter. Peter, we appreciate you. Going good, how you doing? I'm so-so today, I'll be honest. I'm a little low energy, sort of sliding down that hill towards feeling crappy. But hopefully we're gonna get through today's stream and get some stuff written, and hopefully it's gonna go great. And if it doesn't, then I'm sorry in advance. But hopefully that's how things are gonna go. Peroto Matt is here. Peroto, how's it going? Every day is Wednesday, my dudes. But today is the Prime Wednesday. The Wednesday of all Wednesdays. They have now emailed me 3 times about a different company's product. Wow. You can't cure stupid. Is there anything we, the besties, the homies, the gang, the team, can do to assist? Just being here is all I need from you guys. Taryn! Taryn's here, although possibly can't hear us. Because she doesn't have her headphones. I drove a bus with kids on it today for the first time. Proto, how did it go? Were they unruly hellions, or were they sweet and wonderful? And how did it go? Did you enjoy it? Were you supposed to? Yes, Protomat was supposed to drive a bus full of kids today. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, back then they did not have this feature that Joe mentioned. Taryn can hear us, just poor quality. No worries. Taryn, we love you, and we want you to be able to hear us saying that. They were good and it went well. I'm so glad to hear that. What, is it like all age groups, Protomat? Is it like K through 12 all on the same bus, or is it like a certain age group? Because the way they did busing when I was in school was that all of the kids were on, so it is K to 12, yeah, all of the kids were on the same bus. So you'd get all the older kids would like drift to the back of the bus. That was like high school territory. And then all the little kids would sit up front. That's how it was when I was in high school, all the kids all the time. Alright, so we did go through and unlock some new boys yesterday. We got Beakbeard, who I did hang out with a little bit yesterday. He's super cute. We got Wispwing, who I love, based on Will-O-the-Wisp lore. And we got the Chilladillo, So we just have this one, which I kind of skipped because I did see it on the preview on the Discord. So this one says, I have to remember to wake Lenny up early to see the golden farmlands from the observation deck. It's particularly calming watching the wind dance over the wheat fields. So it sounds like we have to, first of all, have Lenny. Which for Domerin is usually this Lenny. And we have to be outside. I don't know if we have to be doing a particular activity. The Golden Farmlands. So we need to be here. And I always have to slow the train down for this one because it just goes so flippin' fast. And then I'm assuming morning and the wind. Watching the wind dance over the wheat fields. So it looks like we can be doing any activity. I actually find if you do the, like, foreground activities, you get a better... view of the background when you're outside. So there we go! We'll get our little Lenny upgrade. I usually go with the golden Lenny for Domerin because that's his crescent kitty. Crescent kitty. Oh, he's similar to the kitty we lost, so I'm using him anytime I bring out Lenny. The brown and white? We can hang out with the brown and white Lenny another time. I do feel really attached to the orange Lenny for Domerin. Trains should go fast, not when you're trying to do work and stuff. That's true. There are a bunch of hydrations that I won't count that one because that was me sipping myself. Thank you for the reminder, Pi. 1. A 2. A 3. And the 4. 4 official hydrations. Pi satisfied now? Yeah, once we unlock the boy, we can switch. We'll switch avatars and we'll switch Lennies. I hear them pies are lethal. That's why we deep fry ours in batter. To make sure they're doing harm to no one. You do deep fry a lot of stuff in Scotland, don't you? How's your day been today? Honestly, I woke up, I ate breakfast. That's what I've done so far today. That's what I've managed so far today. I woke up, I showered, I ate breakfast. I'm on a new Wi-Fi, and I can already tell it's way better than the old one. That's good, Blur. We deep fry everything. We deep fry a deep fryer. We can figure out how to not burn down the whole country. You wouldn't be able to eat a deep fried deep fryer, though. Tomorrow afternoon, I have to drive all by myself. So did you have a companion with you today, Proto, to make sure you stayed on the route and everything? Do you have to, like... Do they give you a map, or do you have to, like, memorize where all the stops are? I've never really thought about how much work it would have been for our bus drivers when I was younger. There's about 14 plug sockets in Scotland, and it's dangerous. We watched a video on, we watched this, sorry, I am a little spacey this morning. If I seem just super out of it, I am drifting through the morning here. We watch a channel called Sorted, which I've mentioned a couple times. And they started doing a series where they're looking at like the history of certain foods. So they looked at like the evolution of the hamburger and like how it started as a thing, like how it became what we eat today. Like how we started putting hamburgers together. I don't know if I'm explaining this well at all. I don't know if anything I'm saying is making sense. But they started with, like, basically how hamburgers were originally eaten, up to, like, what we think of as a hamburger today. And then they did another one for fish and chips, which I found really, really interesting because I know that fish and chips is, like, a big thing in the UK and in Scotland. Like you have places that just do fish and chips. Here we have like burger joints where they just do burgers, but you guys have like fish and chips is like just a thing you can get at the pub here, but they have like whole places that are just devoted to fish and chips in the UK. And it was really interesting because the dish where they started that sort of eventually inspired the fish and chips that we eat today was completely different from, like, it didn't resemble fish and chips at all. It was basically like a vinegary stew, like a fish that had been cured in vinegar and served like stewed. So it was really interesting to see how it came together and how like the different batters affect the taste, and like different places make it different ways and like are really dedicated to how they make it. And also that like at one point fish and chips was actually like considered a highbrow meal. It was really interesting. So you can watch that on Sorted Food if you're interested in like a brief history of fish and chips. There was a fella called Charlie who looked like he would murder you with his eyes, but he was the loveliest guy. He used to look out for me a lot when people tried to start shit with me. Well, I'm glad you had a good bus driver, Peter. Can we get you a hamburger? Would that help you feel better? I'm happy to let you know that we had homemade hamburgers on Monday night. Ghost Pepper made them. They were delicious. There's a show called Burgerland, which is excellent. It's how burgers go across the U.S. and the regional differences. Very interesting. The way I understand it, the fish were battered as a way to steam the fish. It was never supposed to be eaten. That wasn't what they necessarily said on Sorted, but they were focusing on, like, the stuff that you eat, the dishes. I've said this before, but in big cities, food like lobster and crab and scallops were eaten by the poor because it was the shit no one wanted from the sea. I mean, if you think about it, if you lived in a coastal city, it was just what was available. It was just what was there. This is not a lie, but it sounds like one. There was a time period where pineapples were, like, ultra rare and expensive in England. Asterisk in England, where they're not grown. And in Europe, where they're not grown. And so people would like rent pineapples, but not to eat them because they were too expensive to eat. You would rent a pineapple and you would put it on display, like in your house for a party. Yeah, it's crazy. So you would rent a pineapple and you'd put it as like your centerpiece when you had people over. Because that was how you would like show off your money. But they didn't eat them. They just put them on display. And it was really like rich people would have wallpaper that had like a pineapple motif in it as well. Like the pineapple motif was really popular. Joe, how's it going? Do you know, Joe, did you ever confirm if that thing where you watch a VOD would restore your not your sprint, your streak. That's the word. Because Sardinisms lost their streak yesterday, and we're trying to figure out if they can get it back. Did we ever confirm if that was a thing that you can, like, repair your streak? I wonder how these rich people would feel about seeing people like Carmen Miranda wearing pineapples for fun and dancing. I mean, probably if they saw us getting pineapples from the grocery store and cutting into them, they'd be horrified. Because it's funny to think about, like, things that we just go to the grocery store and get now. You have to watch a certain amount of a VOD within the day. So you can't watch it the next day. So, like, Sardinisms can't watch part of the VOD today and get it back. No! We tried. Sardinisms, I'm sorry, we tried. I was hoping we could get your streak back. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we love you no matter what your streak is. And the most important thing is that you're here today and you're hanging out with us and you're amazing. And those are the things that really matter. The rest of it's just a number. Verily no, doth not cutteth the pineapple. Mine children's college funds are caught uppeth in that pineapple. It's really interesting, like, to look back in history and to see, like, how people treated things. Because, like, there was a hot minute where it was really hard to get bananas, too. Like, we just go to the store and buy bananas. But, like, back in the day, in, like, Victorian times, bananas were stupid hard to get because they had to cross the sea, and it took forever to do that. It's for in case you can't be there the same time as the stream, you can watch a VOD later in the day, or earlier, to keep your streak alive. Yeah, but what if you're sick that day and you are back at your... I don't know. I like the streak thing. I like leaving it on. But it also makes me sad because I feel like it stresses people out. And I don't want people to be stressed out by their streaks. Like, I like leaving it on so you guys can, like, celebrate it. But I also know that there are people who can't be here every day. And I don't want them to feel bad that they can't be here every day because... Pi, honestly, when you lost your streak, I don't think it was a feature. I think that was before they even added it. I want to like bananas and I love the word bananas, but actual bananas do not spark joy. The bananas we eat today are not the same bananas we've always eaten. What artificial bananas taste like is what real bananas used to taste like. I'm almost at 69. Browse. Yeah, it's a very new feature, Pi. So when you lost your streak, it wouldn't have been a thing anyway. But it seems unfair that you have to watch it in the same day. Like, it feels like there should be a thing to account for, I was on the road when this person was streaming and I didn't have access to the internet, or, like, my power went out for a day, or... Yeah, I agree, Sardinisms. Or even, like, the next day or something. I do wish they would give you, like, the ability to put, like, a grace period on there or something. Or something. Yeah, like, I wish they would give you more control over, like, configuring it, because I do have kind of a love-hate relationship with the streaks. I leave them on because I see that you guys get really excited about them and really like showing them off, and I want you guys to have that. Like, I appreciate you having the ability to be like, hey, I've hung out in your stream and I've supported you and stuff. But I don't want the people who can't be here every day or whose streaks get broken for whatever reason to feel bad about it. I don't want you to feel like stressed out because you can't flash a big number or anything. It doesn't mean that you support me any less. But I just literally don't have a way. It's my understanding it's before midnight PST because Twitch operates off PST. Interesting. Well, it's good to know for the future. It's good to know for the future for sure. But I do wish they would give you more ability to, like, I wish the streamer could set like a grace period or something, because I don't like anything that creates a sense of you have to be around all the time. Like, I don't like games that do that, and I don't like apps that give you that feeling of like, oh, I have to be here all the time. I have to be always on and always catching what's happening or whatever. It should just be more like a casual thing. My streak announcements are more like, hey, I stalked you from the shadows for Pi. We appreciate you, though, because you always keep us hydrated. Speaking of hydrates, this one's for Fun Day. Today we're going to attempt to write the next installment of My Little Domerin, which is one of the reasons why we have this boy on screen right now, even though he hates me for turning him into a pony. It's kind of the idea behind a streak, though. I know, but I don't know. I feel like for people like me who stream slightly less consistently, like, I don't stream every day, I feel like it would be nice to have a little bit of control over it. I understand that it's counter to what they're supposed to be. Oh, hang on, before we start. Pi wants the octopus anyway. It doesn't really look like anything yet, Joe, but here you go. There's your second bongo. Can you tell what it is yet? Have you guessed? Did I tell you what this one is? Have you guessed what it is? There you go. That's what it looks like so far. If you can guess what it is, from that, you win the prize. Pink mouth and white eyes. A dead glizzy. It is not a glizzy. We already did a glizzy man. It's not a dead glizzy. It is white eyes. The white is eyes. Moose did test watching the VOD to keep their streak alive feature on my end, and it did work. So as long as you do it on the... I mean, I guess you could try it, Sardonisms, but it just might not work if it's not the same day. Try it for science. Alright. Today, we are octopus. Octopus today, we are. I keep putting my hand socks on and then taking them off. I'm overheated. So today we're working on the My Little Domerin fanfic. We are on episode 3. I do want to look at my plan just once because I think I'm ever so slightly behind. Yeah, so what I'm doing today was supposed to be at the end of episode 2, but that's okay. It'll just be the beginning of episode 3. So I'm kind of on plan. I'm not entirely on... No, fuck. Hang on. The animations are gonna freeze. I'm not entirely on plan, but I'm not so far off plan that we can't make this work somehow. What am I doing? What am I doing? Ocelot! Hello! Welcome in! Megan wearing the dead body of her enemy. This is my octopus persona. I did have a thought the other day where I was like, if I ever did do it like a VTuber model or like a PingTuber model, I think it would be like me wearing an octopus on my head. I don't know that I ever will have a VTuber model or a PNG tuber model, but that's what I would go with, I think. My Little Domerin, Episode 3, Act 1. Save. Chaos is the plan. Listen, I have a plan. That doesn't mean that my characters follow it. I thought you were gonna say you're gonna make an octopus version of yourself. No, because the lower half of me wouldn't show on stream. It would just be, like, my top part, right? So, it would be me wearing an octopus on my head. VTuber should be an octopus wearing naked on its head. I think it'll be cuter if it's just me with an octopus on my head. Okay. I have a Word document. That's how far we've gotten today. I have a Word document. What am I doing? Who am I and what am I doing? Why do people watch me do this? I'm just having a moment where I'm like, what is my life? I feel just spaced out enough today to be looking at the things that I'm doing and just thinking, who are you and why is this your life? We don't see Megan's tentacles. That's sad. I wouldn't have tentacles though. Just the octopus would have tentacles. Just fuse yourself with an octopus. If I could, I would. Gladly. What is this? What has this conversation become? Ocelot, how's it going? I hope you are feeling good this week. I hope you're productive today. I think what I need to do is go take my cheeky little pre-first... How many tickles? 10 tickles. Is that from a kid's show? I think I need to go take my, like, cheeky pre-first sprint break. Because otherwise we'll never start. Every so often, when I'm in the middle of a show and we're having a discussion, like, imagine if Darth Vader was played by Morgan Freeman, but Morgan Freeman is Pee Wee Herman, and he's a parking enforcement officer, and I hear myself and what I'm saying, and I'm like, what am I on about? That's what I'm having this morning. I'm okay. I'm working on Spooktober, which is a game jam for spooky visual novels. That sounds super fun. Can you tell us anything about your game, Ocelot? Or does it have to be a secret? Does it have to be a secret for now? Like, can you tell us what your game is about? Like, aside from being spoopy? If you had to choose between being a worm or being an apple, which of the triangles would be a circle? Pie, I love you, never change. How do you make an octopus laugh? Oh, that's so cute! 10 tickles. I'm excited and I don't even know what it's about. That's what I'm wondering. Is it a dating sim? Can I date a spoopy skeleton? There should be. Joe's like, can I date things? Will there be a tentacle monster? He doesn't care about anything else. These are the important questions. Will there be an octopus girl, and can Joe date her? I don't know how that would be spoopy, but there you go. Also, I apologize because Ocelot was like, I'm working on what I assume is probably a cute and cozy game, and then we instantly were like, what can I date in it? We didn't hesitate. We were just like, which parts of your game are dateable? 3 characters are traveling through the mountains where they're caught in a sudden unnatural blizzard. They lose their teammates, but the other 2 find shelter at the cave. They lost essential supplies on the way. You make decisions on how they spend each day. One of them swears their teammate Was turning into a monster in the blizzard and isn't keen on returning into the snow. Another one swears that something is watching them in the cave. Ooh, this sounds very spoopy. Actually, even though you can't date anything, that does sound like Joe's kind of game. That sounds like the kind of game that Joe would really enjoy. He likes those, like, spoopy, atmospheric. It's spoopy because you don't see what Joe does with the 3rd and 7th tentacles. It does sound really spoopy, for sure. Can you make it so that they're turning into a monster with tentacles? That does sound like a game you would like, Joe, I have to admit. Horror isn't really my genre, but I do notice that Joe really likes the spoops. Joe, how much are you willing to spend on the tentacle monster? Alright, I'm gonna take a quick cheeky break, because I promise I'm gonna try to get my brain to do some productivity today. Look, our timers are already set from yesterday. Pie, enjoy your lurk. Do we got any hydrates? I think all the hydrates are clear, but I'm gonna hydrate once just to be sure. Alright, I'm gonna keep the octopus on for the first part of the sprint. I always give you guys extra. Hit the save button, everybody. Depends on what kind of tentacle monster we're talking about. Joe. Only one thing on his mind, and it's tentacles. I'm gonna BRB. Also, Ocelot, please don't feel pressured at all by our silliness. I think your game sounds friggin' amazing. And I will be right back. The Sardinisms, I don't know if you're still here, but take care. We'll be here if you come back later. Good luck. I am back. Oh my goodness. So Sailing Ocelot, is this the kind of game that's gonna have like branching choices? Like, is the way you react to things gonna change like what ending you get? I accidentally kill everyone. Joe. Joe, I know, I was thinking about this the other day. I know you never played more of The Letter on stream for obvious reasons, but did you ever play it off stream? Did you ever go through it? Because I know that your goal was to kill everybody, and I was wondering if you succeeded at doing that. Because I think you can murder pretty much everyone in that game. Am I feeling any better? I feel about the same as I felt when I left, but I appreciate you checking in. I try not to accidentally kill anyone. It's always intentional when Peter does it. I do think you'd like that game, Joe. There is a path through it where what happened doesn't happen. Because I never saw that when I watched Dodger and Jesse play it. But I do think you'd like that game. It's very spoopy, and it's got all of the horror tropes. It's a horror game. It's a, like, horror visual novel, about, this house where they find a letter, and it's got a Ringu girl in it. It's like once they read the letter, they're like stuck in this like series of events. But apparently, and unfortunately I didn't know this when I recommended the game to Joe, apparently one of the characters uses some slurs. I don't know why they chose to write the character that way. Evidently, people in the comments of the game, like in the reviews of the game, said that they like explain later why he's like that, but it's a kind of a not so great choice. Yeah, so, and unfortunately, when I had seen other people play the game, I had never seen them come across that part of the game. They just, like, accidentally, not accidentally, but, like, the choices they made just never took them to that particular chapter of the game. So, unfortunately, Joe wasn't able to stream it because we stumbled down that path, but, that aside, especially if you can avoid that part of the path, it is a very interesting game. We were having a conversation about that kind of thing last night on my stream, and essentially how much of a dickbag Tarantino is. I'm sure they did it to make them as unlikable as possible, but it was. I was shocked when I felt terrible. That was like 2 years ago, and I still feel terrible that I accidentally, like, recommended a game to you that did that on your stream. I guess the reason why they chose to do it, and I'm not necessarily saying I agree with this, is because, of his upbringing, that particular character's upbringing, teaching him to be a horrible person, and, like, the game is sort of trying to tackle that issue of a person who is racist, and, sort of, I guess depending on the choices you make, either him getting worse or him realizing that he's a horrible dickbag. But it did feel like it just kind of came out of the blue and wasn't really, like, there wasn't really any warning that that was part of the content of the game, especially since I had seen somebody play the whole game without getting to that part. It was. I was horrified. But that aside, it is a pretty good game. But just be aware that if you do look into the letter and you do decide to play it, there is a character who does use racial slurs and is a total D-bag. Ray, hello! I've never forgotten or forgiven myself for recommending a game to Joe that did that to him on stream. Anyway, I am going to, let's not get too deep down the rabbit hole of talking about jerk people, on stream today. I'm very low energy and we need to keep this a positive space as much as possible. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into, I need to take off my sweater because the octopus is making me overheat a little bit. But we're gonna get into the clicky clackies. Again, let's please not go too deep down this rabbit hole. I will put the chat into emotes only if I have to. I just don't have the energy in me for a really aggressive conversation today. Yeah, it has a category on Steam, so I'm sure it's fine. But I also understand your choice to not play the game on stream. It's fair. No, as long as you guys keep it mellow, it's cool. This feels like the kind of conversation that could get heated. As long as you guys don't get heated, as long as we don't, fall too deeply down a hole, it's okay. I'm just letting you guys know where I am energy-wise today. I know that usually we go super hardcore on the chaos, and we're not afraid of the hard topics, but I just don't have that in me today. So, just so you guys know, I'm gonna put my head down and, do the clicky clackies. But I just don't have a big conversation in me today. Hi, thank you. I definitely don't, normally I don't tell you guys what to talk about and not talk about on stream. I just need you guys to know that I need to be mellow today. So as long as you guys aren't expecting me to, we had some hardcore conversations in Wolf stream on Saturday. As long as you're not expecting that level of conversation from me today, we'll all be fine. I don't think you can summon food from my chatbot. That was a mellow conversation, Pie. That was pretty mellow compared to tackling language. I could pretend to say stuff in Polish. You guys, thank you for being so chill and understanding. I'll come back next week and we'll have the Tarantino heavy language conversation when I have more than 2 brain cells, I promise. But I just can't do it today. Taryn gotta go grab the child. Taryn, good luck. If we're still here, we'll see you later. Uncle Tobin's here. How's it going? I've written like 4 sentences and I just keep reading them over and over. This is how my brain is working today. I'm Megan. Hi. Joe's Megan. Hi, Megan. So, Ghost is 3 Megans in a trench coat named Woof, apparently. You are all sweet cutie patooties. I'm assuming that oh god is to the three me's in a trench coat named Woof. That's a fair reaction. That's a very fair reaction. Rai, have you slept off any of your vacation yet? Your vacation fatigue? popcorn chicken? That sounds so good. Slept for about 12 hours. My stomach doesn't feel great, though, from too much bourbon and fast food and not enough fiber. Hey, I don't eat well. I mean, I eat well when I'm on vacation. I don't eat healthy when I'm on vacation. So I always have a detox period, let's call it, when I get back. Where my body's like, hey, bitch, eat a vegetable. And I'm like, fine, and I eat a salad. Country fried steak last week with country green beans, fried okra, and mashed potatoes. Oh, that sounds so fucking good. Right, that sounds amazing. I always associate KFC with mashed potatoes rather than fries. Peter, good luck. Get food. There's gonna be so much for me to read during the break. I'm talking about time travel here, and it's like way too much for my brain today. So we are at 1,582 words. I forgot to take the octopus off, so you guys got a full, like, 40 minutes out of that redeem. I'm hitting the save button, and you should too. Sponsored by Blur. Heck yeah. I think we've unlocked our final boy. So let's take a look at him, and then we'll take a quick break. And I will do the hydrates when I get back with hot coffee. What? Look at this cutie. Dandelion! Dandelions are a noble and protective breed of spirit who pride themselves on nurturing all living things. Whether it's a baby bird separated from its nest, a fellow spirit low on mana, or a potted plant that has gone a little too long without watering, a dandelion will do all it can to provide help, support, and encouragement until its charge is back on their feet. Dandelions are often surprised by their fluffy tails as if seeing it for the first time. They'll turn to investigate, which often causes them to sneeze. Some say that if you witness a dandelion sneeze, you're allowed to make a wish. As the tufts from its tail drift away, they say the breeze might carry your wish to a special place. While their tails may be bare afterwards, they will quickly regain their fluffiness by the end of the day. Lenny tells me that dandelions are their distant cousins. To my surprise, it turns out dandelions have third eyes, like Lenny. You just can't clearly see them since they're covered by the veins on their foreheads. So perhaps dandelions can be the piece of the puzzle I need to trace back to Lenny's origins once and for all. The sun moss fields are lush with hardy, vibrant crops, the likes of which you could only ever see in the countryside. You will often find spirits and farmers working in harmony to tend the fields. A recent study has confirmed what many locals already suspected. The presence of spirits helps the crops grow faster, fuller, and healthier. It's kind of sweet, really. Just like the farms nourish us, the spirits quietly nourish the farms in return. Yet another reason why I'm glad to have chosen this field of study. Lol. I don't think that the dandelion is, in this case, a vegetable. Let's look at the dandelion. Ah, what a cutie. So there's blue, there's green, there's brown. Ooh, there's a lion one. There's a pink one, and there's a purple one for Protomat. Purple for Protomat. Heck yeah. Heck yeah! So now that we've unlocked all of the spirits, the new spirits, I gotta put Domerin's cat back on him. Now that we've unlocked all the new spirits, we can hang out with them. So let's... I mean, I guess we can stick around. We can stick around with Domerin for a bit. Mad Lad, you're here! How are you? So we haven't really gotten to... I have hung out with some of these spirits. We hung out with these ones. And I hung out with some of these guys since we have unlocked them. But since we've been unlocking spirits, we haven't really hung out with them very much. So let's hang out with the, what was it, the deep toad? Let's see. So this was the skin that I bought for him. What a cutie. Let's go to the interior. Do some typing, and we can go to... Where do we want to go? We haven't hung out at the underwater map very much. But I do really like the city map at night. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of my favorite one. This has kind of very quickly become my favorite one. I am a little under the weather today, Mad Lad. We have witnessed my spacing out a couple times on stream today, but I'm doing pretty okay. How are you? I asked you that already because you answered, see? It's going great. Let's see. There was so much that happened during that sprint. I don't even know if I can reasonably try to read it all. I just feel like, are we even trying hard enough if we don't have the replicator yet? But if we did, how would we manage it? Would it be free, unlimited for everyone? Probably not. Probably not. I just don't want people ordering 1,000 Big Macs and not eating them. I mean, I feel like we're close to food 3D printers, and I feel like that's the first step on the way to a replicator. Joe, I actually have Polish lineage. I'm mostly German, Polish, and English. Dang. I'm like... I think it's like German, Russian, and Italian. Pi is 100% pi, not what Pi said. The brain cell. Is brain celling hard? Very hard today. Wood polish, furniture polish, what's the other 25%? Ammonia? Snuck in, I'm on break, so I might have to head back to work soon. Well, Uncle Tobin, if you're still hanging around, it was good to see you. Megan needs some egg salad. I could use a refresh on egg salad. I ate all mine. Deep fried egg salad? Wouldn't you just deep fry the eggs? It sounds like a Scotch egg with extra steps. That means Joe Megan gets a firm handshake from Mr. Pepper, who is now legally barred. I will inform them of this. Bart is now Mr. Pepper. Peter is Bard. Bruce is Collie. Joe is also Batman. My goodness. What do you guys... This is what you guys do while I'm writing, apparently. When you scroll back up and read this full thing, you're going to be even more confused. Not wrong. Domerin is now a duck. The ducks are now ponies. Willow is Armand, and Kaylee is sitting watching the whole thing with a cup of tea. I don't even know who half those people are. Oh my goodness. Joe says all the sick peeps of chat better be resting. Except me, because I'm clearly not. I'd eat a vegetable, except I don't want to. Oh boy, I think I caught up. You better rest after stream. I won't, but I will eat a salad. I'm gonna pause the timer and take a quick break. Listen, I'm not at the part where I need to rest yet. I will hit a point where I definitely need to rest and I can't sit up at my computer anymore. And when that happens, I will spend a full day on the couch watching Gilmore Girls, and sleeping in my bed. And I will know when I hit that point. But until then, work continues. How dare I rest when I need it? I will say... I did rest a bit last night. I went AFK after Winds of Chaos, and I just kind of sat at the TV and watched, I've been watching a documentary, so I watched some of that, and I read a little bit, and then I just went and passed out for the night, although I didn't sleep as well as I hoped I would, so I took it easy. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but I took a night off to rest, so there you go. It's what you're gonna get for now. I cannot be contained. I will be right back, though. I'm back. Back and ready to rumble. I believe we've got at least 2 hydrates on the board. We've got 1 from Blur. We got 1 from Rai. 1. 2 sips of fresh hot coffee. Thank you, Blur. What are you up to today, and how are you feeling? I know you were feeling a bit under the weather yesterday. I hope you're feeling better today. I hope the thing that was bothering you has moved on. My goodness. What a day. Also, I just want to thank you guys for keeping up the chill, silly vibes for me today. I don't often ask us to steer away from the more serious topics, but I'm running on fumes today. Probably, I shouldn't say this because Joe's gonna get all indignant, but probably I shouldn't be streaming today. Probably I should be taking it a little slightly more easy. But I'm not. I'm here. I'm breaking the rules. I'm doing the clicky clackies. And I'm happy to hang out with you guys. I just gotta be careful that I don't overdo it a bit this week. Because I've done that in the past and it doesn't go well. Still feeling a bit off, a lot more tired today, just working on some video editing during the sprints and working on my new D&D character during the breaks. Well, Blur, don't be like me. Don't overdo it. Take it easy. Take care of yourself when you need to. And don't push too hard. She says, while ignoring that Joe said exactly the same thing to her. Listen. Some of those raindrops looked like they were inside the car, but I guess it's just the thickness of the animation. Listen, sometimes you know you should take it easy and you just don't want to. So my compromise was to stream Tuesday and Wednesday and take it easier on Thursday. So I won't be streaming tomorrow for anyone who's wondering. I will be taking tomorrow off streaming. I'll probably be around and doing work, but I definitely won't be streaming. When I do feel under the weather, I just kind of tend to take it slow. So usually I try to be really on point with my time management. You probably can't tell because on stream we just kind of start whenever and finish whenever. But I do try to keep it contained between 2 specific times of day. So when I'm not feeling under the weather and I'm not streaming, I try to keep things pretty on point in terms of like timing, starting on time, finishing on time, having certain times of the day that are devoted to certain things. But when I'm feeling under the weather, I sort of loosen it up and I just kind of drift along and just kind of fit it in however I can fit it in. So I'm like still doing the same work, but it might take me longer, or I just start later or whatever. Because I just kind of give myself a lot of leeway to sort of not fight my body and my brain. So that's why on weeks when I don't feel good, I tend to stream less, is just because I'm starting my routine later and I'm just kind of drifting in and out between, like I might take longer breaks or I might walk AFK more or just like do whatever little thing that I need to do at that moment in time in order to sort of not feel worse. But I did feel good enough yesterday and today to at least be here, hanging out with you guys, doing the thing. So that's nice. Because sometimes when I start to feel under the weather, I just don't even want to be perceived by the universe. Sometimes I'm like, please don't perceive me. Those are the really bad weeks. How am I already almost at level 122? I feel like I just leveled up the other day. I feel like I just leveled up the other day. Somebody started a thread on the discussion area of Steam and was like, what level are you? And someone came in and was like, level 500. And I was like, holy crap. And I thought 122 was a lot. I now have over 1,000 hours in this game. 1,018 to be exact. It has become my sort of default productivity app. I'm gonna get back into sprint mode here. Peter, how did it go? Brought deep fried foods for everyone. Please let us know how they taste. I found the perfect thing to observe during a break. I think it'd make chat happy too. Hell yeah! Please feel free to share it, Ocelot. There's no, you don't need to be like, to be granted permission or anything. It should go through. But I appreciate you asking. Does anyone have any questions about batter-covered deep-fried sausage? How delicious is it on a scale of 1 to 11? Ooh, that does look delicious. But how does it taste? Is it a spiced sausage? Those chips look really good. It's actually excellent. A solid 11 out of 10 meal. The sausage is such a nice, and it's so good. Nice! Zero spice in the sausage, but it is seasoned nicely. Well, that's what I meant by spices. I didn't mean like chili. I meant more like seasoning. Spices, you know. The things that make food taste like stuff. Sausage is usually really good. Lunabelle 481, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I'm doing okay. We're working through our second sprint here. How are you? Peter, what are you doing? I am on Twitter as well. I think there's a link to my Twitter profile in the bottom area in the about section. I don't think screaming new person body snatcher scream intensifies as hiding behind my legs. have finished the first scene, and I am moving on to the second scene. We are currently at 2,328 words. All right, end of the sprint. We are at 3,312 words, hopefully within around about 1,000 of finishing. The second scene so far is only 981 words, but it's going quite well. I am pleased. Thank you, Peter, for saying that I did such a good words. I'm going to check the video that Ocelot sent.
You might want to hold on.
Why is it showing me ads on YouTube? Okay. I stretched and my back popped. Dang you. Okay, let's see. Oh, hang on. Aww. I love him. He's adorable. I want one. I wonder how they got it to, I'm sure there's, like, somebody with their hand inside it manipulating it, but I wonder how they got it to do the levers. That was adorable. Adorable. Alright. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Ocelot. I loved that. I think I recognize that too. I think it's like Tea Turtle or something sells these like reversible octopus, and usually they're happy on one side and annoyed on the other. Yes! Rank 123. Listen, I use this app a lot. I use it a lot. This is like my go-to productivity thing. So if I'm trying to do productivity, I'm probably using this app. This fella replaces Domerin as Megan's grumpiest boy. Speaking of, I guess we can hang out with, we got to hang out with this boy. Oh my god, too cute. So we could hang out with, the Chilladillo. For our next Sprinty Spront, which will be our last Sprinty Spront of the day. Now, I see that there was a hydrate. Did I do that hydrate? I don't remember, so I'm gonna do it now. I have done it, and I'm also gonna hit the save button, in case I didn't do that before either. Now I've done the things. I will stretch when I get up. I've been stretching during the breakies, the breaky breaks. I just looked at Peter's sausages again. Peter, I hope you're enjoying those sausages and chips. Did you get the popcorn shrimp too, or did you just get the sausage? Anywho, I am gonna take a quick break. I don't know why my voice is all over the place. I'm gonna take a quick break, hit the washroom, and then when I get back, we will do our final sprint. I went another direction, so I didn't get the popcorn chickens. Oh, it was chickens, not shrimps, but maybe tomorrow. Heck yeah, listen. Those sausages look super good, so I can see why you went to that one. When we go out, like, I have a little rule for myself that I try to order things when we go out that I can't make at home. Because that kind of makes it more special that I'm going out to get something. Or that I'm, like, ordering in or whatever. So generally, if I'm like, oh, I can just make that really easily at home, then I'm less, like, I'm more hesitant to order it. But we don't fry foods at home very often. Because, like, especially deep frying is such a pain in the dick. Like, it makes a huge mess, you've got to deal with the oil, like, it's just, like, we have a deep fryer and we have an air fryer. Now, we do air fry stuff fairly often, but, like, you're not gonna make fried chicken in an air fryer. Maybe you'd try to, but, like, proper deep frying, we just don't do it at home very often. We do it, like, once every 4 years, because it's messy, it's time consuming, the oil is a huge pain. So I order a lot of fried foods when we go out. I'll order fried chicken, I'll order French fries. I also do, it's not quite the same, but I'll order fish and chips out a lot. Because again, battering something at home, it's just a huge pain. So anything like fried, breaded, battered, like those tend to be the things that I order when we go out. Because I'm not going to make it at home. So anytime you've ordered fried food, it's a win. Because you didn't have to make that at home and get oil everywhere. If you chop your hands off, you can't make anything at home, so you can order everything. But I wouldn't be able to clicky-clack, Peter. I gotta keep the hands in good condition. They are basically my money makers. Such as the money is. Ended up giving my deep fryer to charity, and I don't have a microwave either. I mean, we have an air fryer, and we do like it, and we do use it. And we have a convection oven, which, again, love it, use it. But anything that you need to, like, completely submerge in oil in order to properly make, it's too much, man. My ass is my moneymaker. Browse. Browse, Peter. Your voice. You gotta keep that voice. You gotta keep that voice, Peter. Gotta keep it. Alright, I am gonna pause the timer for realsies this time. I'm gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we'll chat for 6 more minutes, and then we'll finish up this Act 1 of Episode 3 of My Little Domerin. And then we'll raid. We'll raid out, and that will be me signing off until next week. So let's do the thing. But first, don't forget to get up, move around, grab something to eat and or drink, take your meds if you need to take your meds, and use the restroom, like me. And we back. We back. We unlock the timer. And I'll do just some very light fingy stretches because we haven't done any of these today. Just some gentle fingy stretches since we've written over 3,000 words and have not stretched the fingies yet. Thank you for the welcomes, guys. Guys, I hope stream has been enjoyable today. I know I'm lower energy than usual and a bit spacey. But I appreciate you guys bearing with me while I just kind of drift through today. It's been nice to be here. I'm so glad to hear that. Hang on, I have to do one thing. To make sure the noise canceling was working properly on my headphones. I'm just so glad to hear that. I worry sometimes, like, I always debate when to do these streams and when not to do these streams when I know I'm not typically at my best. Nope, we're gonna do one more sprint. There is a final sprint to come in 5 minutes. But I when I'm not at my best, I always debate, you know, should I stream? Should I just kind of just power through the work, or whatever. But, I really wanted to do the streaming this week. There's been a lot of disruptions to the regular schedule, and I have been feeling social. Sometimes when I get under the weather, like I said before, I just don't feel social, but I have been feeling social this week, so I wanted to take advantage of that. I worry that I sound just completely out there, but I appreciate that you guys are here and having a good time. Uncle Tobin, how's it going? Are you on another break? I'm loving how this character is coming out. I think he's going to be my most detailed character outfit-wise. Ooh! How many belts does he have? How many belts? You're done! Heck yeah! I hope it was a good and productive day for you. Today is Ghost Pepper's second day back to work with kids. He did come home last night and say that he really liked, I guess they changed kind of how they did opening ceremonies for the school. Usually they do like a big school assembly, like right at the start, right at the opening. And he said they skipped that. They planned to do it, I guess, later in the week instead. And they just kind of let all the kids go around to their classes and just settle in right away. And he really appreciated that. Oh, Peter. Sorry, yawning. I'm sorry you have a headache. I hope you're taking care of yourself. Have you hydrated? Have you drunk some just good cold water? Because sometimes that really helps. Are you sitting in a shady place? How hot is it over there right now? Because it is still, I think it's still in the 30s here. 34. High of 37. What is this? It is September. High of 37. I'm not going outside today, folks. I'm staying inside. It was a nice day. I'm glad to hear it. I haven't seen you around in a while. It's nice to chat with you. It is currently 13 degrees with a high of 15. Okay, you're fine then. Give us some of that. Give us some of that, Peter. Send it our way. Just one belt. Surprisingly, he does have 2 coats. I can actually share the sketch of his outfit since I got the green light from my DM yesterday. Heck yeah! When you're ready to share it, obviously. Don't feel pressured or obligated to show it until it's ready. I just remember back in the day, probably around the time of like Final Fantasy VIII, the like in thing was to give characters like 6 belts. Final Fantasy was a big belt offender. They had their characters had a lot of belts. Just belts everywhere. All the belts. If you don't have belts, what's going on? I'm curious how the 2 coats work, though. Curious about the two coats. This little guy is so cute and chill. I do love him. I do love him a lot. I do wish, because I feel like, on average, the train spirits tend to be smaller than the other spirits, so I do wish that they would embiggen them a little bit. But aside from that, I really like... Oh! He woke up. I really do like the new spirits. They are very well designed. I mean, the kitchen spirits were too. All the kitchen spirits were really well designed too. And super cute. So I'm not surprised. They just blew it out of the park with some of these. And I'm curious to see how they'll expand skins for some of them in the future as well. So, very cool. It'll be interesting too, because there's a couple that haven't gotten reskins. I think the early burb, I don't think the early burb has gotten any reskins yet. The moon paw hasn't gotten any reskins yet. The trash nuki hasn't gotten any reskins yet. The waxolotl, I think the hamstereo hasn't gotten one either. So they have plenty to do for another DLC. It'd be cool to see a reskin of the Hexwing as well. Hang on. I'm busy right now. It'd be cool to see a reskin of the Hexwing as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, if they do another DLC and what they do with it. And what they do with the secondary skins as well, because like these haven't necessarily gotten a ton of like new skins since they were released, so it'll be interesting to see. Has the early bird gotten any worms yet? I assume that he gets one every morning. He is early. He is early and he is a bird. Did I tell you guys? This is the last thing before I unlock the timer and do the final sprint. We had a tree out back that we cut down. I know I've mentioned it on stream before. Because it's like super bright in my office now if I open the blind before noon. So we had a tree in our backyard before, and we do have a group of birds that tend to come and like build a nest under our deck every year, which is fine. We don't mind. But it was really funny because the day they cut down the tree, Ghost Pepper went out a little later. Welcome back, Taryn! We do got 30 minutes still. We're about to start Final Sprinty Spront. And so Ghost Pepper came home and went out back to check after they had left from chopping down the tree, and he said there was just a bird sitting in the grass looking super forlorn. Like, what am I gonna do now? The tree is gone. Which was cute, funny, and sad, because we didn't feel like great about killing this tree, but it had a really aggressive root system, so it had to go. But the bird was just like, what am I gonna do now? How was pickup, Taryn? Also, I think you missed it, but I said thanks to all of you guys for keeping it mellow and chill for me today. We can certainly have that conversation next week when I'm feeling better, but I just appreciate it being cute and silly today. The bird should pay some rent. I mean, it's funny because when the birds build their nest in the early spring and Ghost Pepper goes out to do the gardening, the birds will like dance along the fence to try and get his attention and lead him away from the nest. But it's like, we know about the nest and we don't care, but the bird doesn't know that. Ooh, that is very cool. I like that. Very Final Fantasy-esque. I like it a lot. I see how the two coats layer. Very interesting. All right. Let's get her going. Sex robot is gonna get food for you. Heck yeah. That one's keeper. All right. Let's do it. I've got the final sprint up. Let's do it. Let's do the thing. We got this. This might actually be shorter than I anticipated, but we'll see. I say that now, but it's me. Did you unlock the last spirit? Yes. When the sprint is over, will you show? I can flash it. I'll flash briefly, but we'll show the big boy. We'll show the real boy when we get there. Is the dandelion? We'll switch to him at the end of the sprint to sprint, so you can see him proper. I am gonna sneeze, probably. Just so you're all ready for that. Sorry, I leaned away from the mic, so hopefully it didn't peak. Thank you for the blessings, you guys. Scene 2 completed! We are at 3,964, and most of these have been around 4,000 or a little more than that. So we're right in the consistent area of where this should be. And scene 2 was 1,629 words. So now I'm going to write a very, very short little ending for this particular act, which is like one of those little scenes that would play right before a commercial. That's sort of what I'm going for here. I wish I knew that many words. Many of them I use more than once, Peter, just so you know. They're not 3,964 different words. Some of them are repeats. The is a word that comes up quite often. How many words are there on Earth? Probably too many. Because it depends on how many, like, if you look at every different language, a lot. Like, literally a fuck ton. Birds are living. They're continuing to grow and more offspring blossom. That is very true. We're always expanding our language. I just realized I should probably speed up the train a little bit, but it is super chill to have it going that slow, so... just a teeny bit faster. 4,327 words, which is right in line with how long all of these have been. How do I make them consistently the same length? I don't know. I don't plan it. It just kind of happens. The last scene is a mere 364 words long. Shortest scene I've written in a very long time. But here we are. Here we are, finished. 4,327 words added to my little Domerin. We will let that timer run down those last 10 minutes. This was episode 3, Act 1. So next time we work on this, which won't be for a couple weeks, we will do Act 2 of episode 3, for which I do have a plan. So I'm excited to get into it. Remember when you first had the idea, hey, what if we made Domerin a pony for a redeem, and here we are now? Actually, I had already made Domerin into a pony. The secret is that picture of Domerin as a pony had been sitting on my hard drive for literally a decade. More than that. I think I made that in 2012. But doing a redeem where I actually did something with that pony, here we are. Here we are now, as you say. Do you include localized slang in that? Yeah, those would be words. Those would be words. There are a lot of words out there. There are a lot of words that people use that are like their own personal words that don't make sense to anybody else. Taryn, I saw your message on Discord, and I saw Kali typing, and I straight up thought he was gonna be like, so here's a campaign pitch. That's not what he said, but I straight up was like, Kali ready to be there. I'm making my own language with the cat as a science experiment to see if she responds to the words, or the tone the words are said in. She'll probably respond to both, although the words might take longer. Why my brain gotta be such a jerk? Taryn, why is your brain being a jerk? What did it do? What's Taryn's brain doing, and does it need a stern talking to? So far it actually seems to be the words she responds to. Oh, interesting. She knows her name, she knows here, down, and no, and dinner, and various other words, whereas she doesn't seem to respond to the tone. If I say nice things in a really angry voice, she doesn't seem to care much. I mean, that sounds like a typical cat. Cats are pretty intelligent, actually. They think now that dogs have the relative intelligence of a 4-year-old, which I find to be fascinating. I think my cat is really smart. I think she's also just a big shithead. Probably. Cats have very strong personalities. Cats do tend to be very selective. Oh yeah, Dodger's eating Vindaloo on her stream today. It looks like it didn't go well. Brain trying to convince me that I'm unloved and annoying. Taryn, I love you. You do not annoy me. I am happy to have you around all the time. I appreciate the heck out of you being here today. I appreciate that earlier when I was like, I need it to be super chill, super mellow. You were right on top of that. Peter, is that intense love for you, or did you redeem that intense love for Taryn? Let me know before I release the Kraken. Taryn, I just super appreciate you in general, but that was something specific from today that I appreciated. I appreciated that you were here for me and keeping things nice and chill and just silly for me. Alright, Taryn, get ready, because I love you, you dumb bitch. 100%. Look, you tried, Peter. I knew what you meant. That was the important thing. That was the important thing. Alright, who are we gonna raid today? Who's doing stuff? Who's around? I understand that stuff might not be... It's not like an instant cure. You know, hearing people say that you're loved doesn't always make the feeling go away, like, super quickly. But I will keep saying it as much as you need it to be said. For sure. For sure. What we might just do is I see that JC Boom is on. She tends to run lobbies. She's not always at her computer at the time that she's streaming, but I could really use a raid and dip today, so we're gonna pop over to JC Boom when the time comes and say hey. Say hey, how about it? Because we haven't dropped in on JC in a while. It's a nice, easy, chill raid for me. You're such a genuinely wonderful human being. Cannot fathom how this is possible. Peter, we adore you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for that redeem for Taryn. Peter, you did help keep it chill. 100%. You guys were there for me, and I appreciate that. Thank you for the awesome stream and community in the chat. Ocelot, thank you for being part of that awesome community and for coming back. I know it's got to be super late in your time zone. I know that our times just do not align in any way, but I appreciate seeing you as much as we do. You're just so awesome and chill to have around. And I really appreciated hearing about your game. Please let us know how it goes as the game jam progresses. Because I'd love to hear more. Definitely helps a smidge. I appreciate the gesture. Any little we can do to get you there. Those demons can get loud some days. And try to convince us of all these untrue things. But what we need to do is just boop them right on the snoot and say, you silly Billy, you're wrong. Now get out. Now get the fuck out. Oh my goodness. 23 seconds. 23 seconds. I know I talked through the whole last part of that sprint, but you know what? We said important things here. We said important things. We said some very important things. And we will continue to say those important things in the future, if need be. So this is where I remind you guys that this is the last stream for me this week. I can feel myself actively feeling crappier. So I'm going to take at least some of Joe's advice and take it easy for the rest of the week. So there won't be a stream tomorrow, sadly, but I am glad that we were able to get 2 streams in this week to hang out, to chill, to get some things done. Truly, I know I say this all the time, but truly I feel blessed to have you guys hang out with me and keep me going when I'm running on fumes. So this is the last stream for me. I don't know what's happening with the Woof stream. Usually Woof and I stream on Saturday nights. We genuinely have no idea what's going to happen this weekend because it just depends on how I feel. It's possible that stream might happen on Friday night instead. It's possible that it might still happen on Saturday. I have no idea what will happen if I'm sick on both Friday and Saturday. So just keep an eye on the Discord. We'll try to give people a heads up. But also just keep an eye on Wif's channel because we might just end up going live at some point. Who the hell knows? It is Cozy Chaos. Next week, that stream will happen as normal. But just this week is a little bit up in the air, just a heads up. It's possible that Wolf will just end up streaming without me, so if you guys can pop over and say hey to him if that happens, I'd appreciate it. But we will try to get a Clurb in. We will try to get a Cozy Chaos in, if we can. But I do solemnly swear that I will not hurt myself to be on stream. I will take it easy when I need to. I will rest. I will just be on the couch when I need to be on the couch. You do have my solemn promise that even though I'm not resting right now, and even though I'm probably not going to rest in the afternoon, I will rest when I really need to. So if I'm not on stream for a little while, that's why I'm taking care of myself. Living by the advice that I try to give all of you guys. But I should be back on Tuesday, knock on wood. Should be back next Tuesday for a full 3 days of streaming. Should be back on a regular schedule. And we're about to wrap up edits on Everyone's Child 5. So I'm about to just be clicky-clacking till the end of the year. So look forward to that. Streamer self-care is very important. You know, I'm happy to be here with you guys and for you guys, but I do acknowledge that I am human and I gotta take care of myself in order to be there for you guys. It's hard for me, because I push myself pretty hard and I want to be able to do stuff all the time and I want to be able to be working at my max all the time, but I know that I can't. I just know that it doesn't work that way, even when I want it to. Thank you for hanging out, Taryn. I love you as well. You're smart and good, and you're a very good person. Peter, thank you so much. You are our adultier adult. I think that's not necessarily the best choice, but you know what? I appreciate that you have chosen me to be your adultier adult. So thank you for that. Let's get the raid going. Whoops. We're gonna drop in on JC Boom, who is a fellow tentacle lover, my friends. Also decked out in the octopus gear. She is the leader of the House Mollusca for Game of Tomes, which I used to participate in before I just totally didn't have time between computer crashes and health issues. And kind of had to drop out of. But when I was participating, I was of her house. So she's very sweet, very chill. She's got a nice little Merlin cam so you can check out what her cat is doing during stream. And it looks like she's putting some graphics together, which is super cool. Like, when we're all arrested, we're calling you to come bail us out. I mean, I will do that. But, I can't always promise the highest quality adult supervision. Guys, take care of yourselves. I love you. I can't wait for it to be next week so I can see you all again. You're the best. Remember to eat, to sleep, to drink, to get up and move around. Take care of yourselves. Rest when you need to, because I love you fully and truly. And I will see you again very soon.